SAGE also assess that in England the number of new infections is shrinking by between 2 and 5% every day. And while the number of people dying with coronavirus remains too high, the numbers do continue to fall. Now, of course, this picture is not universal. There are areas such as Leicester where the virus is still more prevalent than we would like. We always said there would be local outbreaks requiring local action. This is to be expected and will, I'm afraid, be a feature of our lives for some time to come. But that should not take away from the great progress we've made together as a country against this vicious disease. This lockdown has saved many hundreds of thousands of lives, but it has also had a devastating impact on our way of life and our economy. And of course, lockdown has not yet been lifted entirely. Indoor gyms, nail bars, swimming pools are still closed, mass gatherings are still prohibited, social distancing is still essential. I want these restrictions to be lifted as soon as possible. Of course I do. We've established task forces to work rapidly and closely with the sectors that remain closed to explore how they can be COVID secure, and I'm pleased to report that good progress is being made. Next week, we will set out a timetable for their reopening, though of course I can only lift those remaining national restrictions as and when it is safe to do so. Our goal remains to enable as many people as possible to live their lives as close to normally as possible in a way which is as fair and as safe as possible. And to achieve this, we need to move away from blanket national measures to targeted local measures. So instead of locking down the whole country, we will lock down specific premises or local areas where the virus is spreading. Instead of closing down non-essential retail and hospitality nationwide, we will only shut establishments locally as required. Instead of shutting all schools for most pupils, from September, we will only shut those schools where it is absolutely necessary to control an outbreak. And instead of quarantining arrivals from the whole world, we will only quarantine arrivals from those countries where the virus is sadly not yet under control.